Test, test. Johanna, if you could do a microphone test from your end, make sure I can hear it here, please. Test, test. Johanna, if you could do a microphone test from your end, make sure I can hear it here, please.
On this side. Yeah. Well, I can imagine.
Testing 1, 2, testing. Craig, let me know if you can hear me.
Miss G. Yeah,
Yeah, I've got you there.
You can vote on something. Miss G, the faithful G.
You can just give me a thumbs up that you can hear me.
Got all these gavels here.
Testing 1, 2.
I'm in charge. No. I don't want to be in charge of it. That's right.
Yeah, I've got you there.
Well, the whole thing is here. Congratulations.
Give me a thumbs up that you can hear me.
Hey, G. What you doing?
Yeah, we should.
I know. I really just. Okay. Somebody, right? I would take this off, but I was scheduled for facial and a waxing. So I had to leave it grow. Yes. I was telling the girl, I said, I'm gonna take this off. They're gonna shock them. Hey, Gene. Hi. Gene, do you have the address to the Hyatt? Oh no, it's Kelly that's gonna go with me for PED. I was telling the girl, I said, I'm gonna take this off. They're gonna shock them. Hey, Gene. Gene, do you have the address to the Hyatt? Oh no, it's Kelly that's gonna go with me for PED. Get my glasses out. Can't see, can't hear. We're at that age, right? Yeah.
Still walking, yes.
Praise God for that.
Right?
My pen. Can't see, can't hear. We're at that age, right?
Still walking, yes.
Praise God for that.
Right?
Am I live?
You are.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. The May 3rd Commission on the Status of Women, and it is no wait. We'll go into roll call. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Myself, Jean Matthews here on the Status of Women, and it is Fiona Schuler.
I'm here.
Rosario Torres, online. Darby Buckley. Lauren Maselli.
I'm here.
Lauren sent an email saying that she wasn't going to be able to make it.
Dr. Lisa Richardson. Darby Buckley. Dr. Riddell. Here. Kelly Sin.
Lauren sent an email saying that she wasn't going to be able to.
Penny Sieg. Dr. Lisa Richardson. Kelly Mothershead. Foster. Kelly Sin. East Nicholas. Rao. Penny Sieg. I confirm we actually only have Bree and Johanna with us. Next thing on the agenda is a public comment.
Craig, can you confirm if we have anybody at the kiosk comment?
There is nobody here at the kiosk.
Okay. Kelly Sin just sent a message saying that she's muted, so while Craig gets here, I'm going to go see if I can unmute her.
Which Kelly was that?
Kelly Sin?
There is
Tim.
nobody at the kiosk.
Have any public comment, Johanna?
No, there's none.
Kelly Sin just sent a message saying that she's muted, so while Craig gets here, I'm going to go see if I can unmute her.
Which Kelly was that?
Kelly Sin?
Tim.
Have any public comment, Johanna?
No, there's none.
Craig Bacon on there? Is that a
That's on.
guest speaker?
Oh, that's
Craig Bacon on there? Is that a
that's on.
guest speaker? Did you say that Dr. Richardson's online?
How do you see Jenny? I don't. Oh.
Hey, good morning, ladies. Can you guys hear me?
Kelly Sin. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Dr. Richardson's online. Hi, Lisa.
Oh, good. You can hear me. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, ladies. Sorry I couldn't be there in person. Too many meetings today, all over the county.
Glad you're with us online.
Oh, good. you can hear me.
Okay, so we've added a few more ended
Sorry, I
on
couldn't
our
be there in
roll call.
person.
The next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes, which we don't have a quorum. We're going to have to take that item and on the next month agenda. And just to confirm, we still need to vote on August 2020, October, November, December, January of 21, February, March. Quite a few months to approve. The next month will be better. Move that over.
Yeah, as a reminder, we need a total of half of the members plus one to have a quorum.
Quite a few months. That would be 8.
8. More people coming
We're there
today.
today.
Yeah.
We're present.
As a reminder, we need
So our next item on the agenda is guest speakers. Yeah, Cheryl.
8. We need 3 more people to come through the door.
Our chair has come in, so I'm going to relieve myself of the duties. And Cheryl, we did the roll call, no public comment. We don't have a quorum for the minutes, so we're the guest speaker
We need 3 more people to come through the door.
part of the agenda.
That one today?
I don't believe we had one.
Oh, okay.
Today. I'm trying to remember from my minutes.
Okay.
No public comment. We don't have a quorum for the minutes, so we're the guest speaker part of the agenda.
Catch my bearings here.
I don't believe we had one.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember from my minutes.
All right, well, I don't think we had anyone scheduled for the guest speaker, so we can move on to review and discuss our work plan. All right, well, a lot of work going on for unofficial. We're somewhat operating in kind of a unofficial capacity, but I think we're hanging in there and doing the best that we can, which is wonderful. All right. So let's talk about our membership. I know that we have reached out to United Way and the new commissioner. Any updates?
We received an application for somebody to want to serve on the CSW, so I referred it to United Way. And I emailed her asking for her to reach out to Mr. Anderson, because he's going to want to meet with her and see if they can nominate her. But I haven't heard from the commissioner's office on her nominee.
And just by virtue of that application coming in for the Citizens Academy, I was wondering if there's an opportunity for us to have an open application by district so that our commissioners would be able to kind of have a pool of people to recommend.
I haven't heard from the commissioner's office on her nominee.
Is
But
that
as the applications come in, it's on the website. So as applications come in, we can
opportunity for us to have
do that.
Okay,
But
so the
that's-
Commission on the Status of Women is one of the options? Oh, okay, all right, great. Oh, see, we learned something new.
As the
Great.
applications come in,
All right,
it's on the website. So
any other thoughts or questions? I know that we were going to invite the new commissioner to one of our meetings and share, learn. Great. Oh, see, we learned something new. Any other thoughts on that? Should we try to do that?
What you said about Fitzpatrick.
All right. Right,
Did she submit somebody, did you say?
no.
No.
Has anybody like reached out to her personally?
Denise was to do that because she was going to meet with her.
Right,
if you recall.
with the PTA, and she was gonna tie that in.
I thought that at last meeting, somebody,
Right.
Denise. That
Correct.
was Denise.
Correct.
okay.
Because she was gonna meet with her for something else.
Okay.
Has anybody like reached out to her personally?
Well, let's follow up on that. I will touch base. We'll follow up with Denise, and I'm happy to try and schedule a virtual introduction, and we'll go from there.
Denise. That was Denise. Because she was gonna meet with
Cheryl, did you want to mention about Kelly and he's no
Oh,
longer?
yes, if we didn't get to that, I guess all of that happened in the last couple of days. So we did receive a resignation from Kelly Mothershead. And so she has actually been an amazing member of the CSW since its inception. She's also one of our past chairs. And I just want to publicly acknowledge her service to the commission, her dedication, and her energy. I will miss her energetic ideas as well. So please, if you see Kelly or if you do have any contact with her via email or what have you, please extend your appreciation and thanks. She simply has competing priorities with her career and some personal commitments. So we definitely understand, and we want to extend our sincere appreciation for her service. Commissioner Moore is aware, and he did respond to the group email that Kelly sent her notification to. And so I think that we just need to follow up with Commissioner Moore as well, and along with Commissioner Fitzpatrick.
I reached out to Commissioner Moore's assistant and I gave her the link to the application and let her know to please let me know when they find someone.
Okay. Thank you.
That means like if Kelly's resigning.
the speakers.
Right. So we'll need to, when we get to that section, we'll need to take new volunteers, or maybe it's a couple of people, so it doesn't rest on one person, and just see who can take on that responsibility. I think that we were doing really great with 2 to 3 months out, and the alignment of the speakers was really good as well. So we don't just want random topics and speakers. We really want to be an informed group about issues pertaining to the status of girls and women in our community, challenges, recommendations, and things that we can also report back on to our commissioners. So when we get to item 7, we can talk specifically about who would like to volunteer to step up and handle that. Our bio project, I know Lauren is unable to be with us. She did send in her email expressing regrets. However, I know that she has been working behind the scenes on this. I believe that all submissions have been received. I could be wrong. So we sent out direct reminders to those that we were missing, and it was only a handful. If you did get a direct reminder and you haven't responded, please do so. That'll ease, the process, because we're all working on some of this outside of our work day. So at least if she hasn't and she's getting stuck on the weekend or in the evening trying to pull it together, she's not chasing down, people that haven't submitted their information. But the design looks nice, and the fun fact, I think, was a nice touch as well. I'm learning about everyone's animals. I do have item 4. I do have the badge for Denise, and I was going to give it to her today. However, her daughter was in an accident, and so she had to detour and turn around. So she did reach out to me directly and express her regrets, but we've been trying to connect since the last meeting. I do have item 4. Yes, she did say the daughter is okay, just shaken up, and I guess they were following up with the authorities. Item 5. So our 2021 presentation is behind us. We definitely want to be working towards our 2022 presentation, and this just stays on our work plan, so we know that this is something that we will do. And I don't know, how early we want to get on the agenda for 2022, but we're in May, so maybe by September we should be looking at a date for March of 2022. How did it go? I don't think I've had it. I feel like I've missed a month.
It was great to follow the PowerPoint, because I could just, kind of read
Right.
it, like say next, and go to the next
Right.
slide. And there was a few questions, and then of course,
I feel like I've missed a month.
Commissioner
Mariano?
Yeah, whatever.
was it?
Was it Commissioner Mariano?
Mariano.
I think it was Mariana asked the question.
About the transgender, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. which
Okay. Okay. We did discuss
So
that.
we became
Actually,
educated
you
about
look
that.
good on there because I watched you too. You look very good. You did a good job. Yes, but you did it well.
I don't like being,
Yeah.
but anyway, I hope I did the commission proud.
Yes.
To
Thank
present
you.
that. Commissioner Starkey did have some nice comments too, and we discussed about compiling, the list of the women businesses, talk a little bit about that.
Great. All right. Well, positive feedback, good experience, and
A lot better presentation than the previous.
right. Well, we went from really the first two to 3 years, we just kind of had a 2 pager. So we have matured.
Yes.
I thought it was very professional.
Yeah,
looking,
it was.
And I think, going forward, we can just tweak that and,
Absolutely.
I think it was
Absolutely.
along nicely. I think I didn't tie up a lot of time, so.
Very good. Thank you. So we are still looking at our social media and the activities thereof. I think that the engagement continues. We're seeing increased followers and whatnot. And I think, again, it just goes back to, what are we doing? What are we about? What are we asking the community to support or buy into? So any other comments around our social media presence?
I just know I try to put something up there relevant at least a couple times a month, out there. And I know I saw, the Lauren did with, talking about you being the chair and the short little picture in the bio. And I thought that was really nice. Looked really nice, the presentation. I just think if we just keep adding to it to educate people, have a commission and
What we're doing.
what we're doing. I think it'd be nice.
Yeah. I think that the female-owned business initiative is going to draw a lot of momentum. So I can't wait for us to get that off the ground. And then as we build up for 2022 and what we intend to do, whether it's a summit around an important women's issue or some type of activity, I think that's really going to help us develop some focus and momentum.
Cheryl, would that be in thinking about that, would it be a good idea to mention that we're thinking about doing a summit on the website and send us your suggestions or ideas?
Well, I think we got to get consensus here first because we're still kind of straddling the fence a little bit. So yes, I think once we decide what we're going to do, then that would be great. I do, encourage each of us to spend some time on the statewide Women Commission on the Status of Women. And then even from the statewide website, you can kind of poke around and look and see what other counties are doing. And that could be an inspiration to us as we continue to get more focused and more strategic with our time. I mean, we're all very busy leaders in our community and very active in other initiatives. And I really want this to be a good use of everyone's time. I want you to look forward to our first Monday of the month meetings. And I think the more focused we are, the more concrete our objectives are, the more people that we'll see active.
I don't have a count
That's okay.
since April, but next month I'll do it with you.
I forgot to look too.
Okay, that's perfect. All right, so item number 7, this is where we are looking for any of our active members to volunteer. Several members are already committed, so just be mindful. I don't want anybody to overcommit, but those of you that are not either leading a committee or on a committee, we would really appreciate maybe a co-chair pair to coordinate our speakers to help educate us as we educate our commissioners on matters that are pertaining to women and girls in Pasco County.
Carol, I know I had reached out to Bay Area, and I know Kelly has now resigned, so I'd be happy to reach back out while we're trying to figure out who's going to chair that committee. Juan, is the next meeting going to be in Newport Richey, or is it going to be in Dade City? Because I'll see if we can get a speaker lined up for June.
Right, and they WebEx in, so
yeah, it says June 7th in Newport Richey.
Okay. Do we have a speaker lined up for June?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. So I will reach out to Jeff over at Bay Area Legal Services, and maybe that'll just buy us some time.
Okay.
To get that part rolling.
Okay.
And then
I'd be willing to, Cheryl, to be a co-leader.
Oh, great. Oh, that is perfect. Thank you so much. Well,
Cheryl.
I think that, so Jenny, would you be willing to kind of hang in there for the rest of the year and work with Dr.
Actually, on
Waddell?
another board that I'm on, and something similar to this, we all undertake a responsibility. That way
Right.
it doesn't fall necessarily on one person. Sometimes somebody can't line somebody up, but it kind of makes that burden a little bit easier. If
Exactly.
everyone just takes turns trying to come up with someone, then it's a little easier.
Okay. All right. So Dr. Waddell and Jenny, and again, the rest of our members, you can submit recommendations to both Jenny and Dr. Waddell, and then they will do the coordination with Joanna to get them lined up. And I mean, I remember when I did the program for Rotary, it really was a collective, participation, but you needed that one or two leader to say, okay, I'm in charge. I'm going to make sure that we've got, a speaker. And again, you've seen what we've done this past year. We're not looking for 30, 45-minute presentations, more like 10 minutes with, Q&A. And so if we have two and one cancels, then we at least have one to back up. Thank you very much. Excellent. All right. So I know that this is where we get into some of the activities that we've done in collaboration with other resources here in our community. And that's part of our mission, is to strengthen, community collaboration around women's issues. And so Leona, Jenny, Rhonda, do you have any updates for us on Women's History Month from March, or what's going on in May for Women's Health Month?
Oh, no. But I'll work on it. No, I don't have an update. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I was surprised to see my name still there. So you want to do something in May? You want to have a speak? I mean, no, it can't be for May. We're already in May.
We're in May.
So what is it?
Well, this conversation started back in January, and we were mindful. We didn't want to bite off more than we can chew. So I think you were working on activities with other, entities from March.
Club, which we
Correct.
did a very good program. It was a 3-day series on healthy bones.
Right.
And that was a webinar. And I don't know if the club wants to do something like that, or you want to have on the day that we meet, have a speaker. And of course, that's not in May. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? What do you want me to do?
Well, I think we want to know what's going on in our community. And since we do have almost 1,000 followers, to be able to lift that up, I think for 2021, it's really about collaborating with existing entities that are doing things for Women's Health Month. As we look forward to 2022, that's where the conversation around, do we want to have an inaugural type event? What will that be? That would be, we would just be aligning efforts with Jenny's committee, so we're not having divergent paths. And so the ideas in the comments section: raise awareness about the achievement of women and girls in Pasco County. I think that Jenny, you had mentioned the Women's History Month.gov website that has a template that we can use. And also I had suggested that we have an event to uplift women of Pasco County. And this could tie right back into our women-owned businesses, you know, being able to have something that not only recognizes, but maybe that's where the community gets involved and, you know, not to steal Leadership Pasco and, you know, Taste of Pasco, but maybe it really is about, you know, women in Pasco and have a showcase and have some type of recognition event.
Afternoon of, you know,
Right.
you could visit different booths or whatever and get to know the different women-owned businesses and what they offer.
Is there anything like that to your knowledge that is currently happening in our county? I mean, I know that the chambers do different
Chambers
expos.
have done like the business expos, but they actually got away from that
Okay.
because they were trying to reach out to the community, and the community really wasn't attending on this side of the county.
Right. I remember the one we did at the fairgrounds multiple years that Dade City Chamber did. I always loved
I
it.
think it would be fun to tie in, you know, you could tie in the women-owned business with any kind of like, you know, women-oriented Mother's Day,
Right.
Breast Cancer Month, or, you know, October. You could tie it in that way with maybe incentive to come by and learn with prizes.
Now, is that similar? Would that be duplicating the What Women Want Expo? Because I know that Jet and her group, or is that Jet, or is that a different group?
They don't really limit the vendors there to just women,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but the event is geared to women.
Add to the business aspect, like social service or health service resources for
Right.
women, other kinds of businesses, you know.
It'll be under the umbrella because
Right. Okay.
I could
It's
see
like
a
the
nice
breast cancer and mental health and education. And I know St. Leo has a new nursing program. And there's going to be a lot of women in that program. So, just thinking like expanded resources.
Leo would hope something.
Well, maybe they
Going
will.
back in person in the fall.
Well,
And
absolutely.
they have beautiful, beautiful space.
And, you know, St. Leo did that amazing COVID service. So.
I know, I was
I was there.
Yeah,
That's
it
where I
was,
got my
yeah.
vaccine. It's just
Yeah.
perfect.
They did a
so
fantastic job.
organized.
Yep.
Everything was fabulous. What a great I mean, it was perfect.
So I think what I would be recommending here is, you know, that we get some clear idea of what we want to see happen in 2022. I mean, right now, like you said, we're already on top of May in 2021. If we know of different health initiatives, let's lift it up, let's share it, you know, send it to any of our admins for our social media. But we really need some think tank work for this subcommittee. And I mean, are we comfortable? I know I just talked about don't overcommitting, and we just had Jenny and Rhonda volunteer for the speaker panel or for organizing the speakers. So is there anyone else that can help us put together a proposed plan for what we want to see the commission do around Women's Health Month in 2022? Any of our virtual participants?
Think about this idea. I am, for the first time, and I'm older, going to be in a triathlon. And
Awesome.
what if I know we're getting a new pool at St. Leo, what if we created an event later on and we got as many women that wanted at all ages to be involved as a health related thing, some kind, it wouldn't have to be a big event, but some kind of exercise, something fun. You know, and highlight wellness, self-care.
I can't wait to see that infinity pool.
Yeah. So I was just thinking that would be something great to get women energized about, because we've all been sitting at home and stuck inside.
And I know, Lisa, you've also, that's a great idea, Rhonda. I know, Lisa, you've also mentioned the new trail at PHSC's West Campus. And so I think we're on to something here. We just need to put some brain muscle around it.
And Cheryl, I'd be happy to work with Rhonda. That would even allow us to maybe have something on the west side of the county and the east side of the county.
Okay. And I think what would be good is if we had a collaborating organization that, we could really lean on for help. I mean, we're all well-meaning. However, putting on an event, even if it's small, requires a lot of logistics, a lot of, safety details and protocols. And so I just want to make sure that we're not remiss to that, because that will definitely take some energy. But I think if we can collaborate with an organization that is what they do,
like the recreational facilities, like the park we're talking about.
Okay. Well, but that also brings me to, we kind of skimmed over it, but one of the areas of having our focus, because we've really not had a strategic discussion on what is our focus for the next coming year. And I think that we definitely need to go back to our drawing board of different topics and different issues in our county that we want to dedicate time and resources to. So an event like this, if we did have sponsors and say a small registration fee, the proceeds of that would go to support an area that the commission has said we're going to focus on. So for the past year, it was domestic violence with the human trafficking, and we've done that. And so now what is going to be our commitment for this coming year?
What would you think about, I'm very much involved with the Arthritis Foundation, and in December they have their Jingle Bell Run walk for arthritic people, and as well as they do fundraising. What would you think about CSW getting a little piece of that? I mean, I can speak to them and maybe have her name just went out of my head, come and speak to us about what they do. Would that be something you would want to entertain?
Yeah, let's open it up for discussion. What are your thoughts?
And it's part of the right. Have a commission on the status of women group
that's
supporting this cause, kind of thing.
Part of the healthy
wellness.
Well, I see it two ways, honestly, because we did so much data collection and we had all these, subcommittees a couple of years ago. So I think our newer people, we need to revisit that, and we need to look at what were all the problems or social ills that we felt that the commission needed to understand. And then based on that, we narrowed it down to domestic violence and human trafficking. And so now that we've kind of focused on that really for more than 2 years because of the pandemic, it just kind of blended over into 2021. So now when we look back at that information, I think we just need to revisit so that we're not asking all those speakers to come out again. We need to revisit and see, are there any specific issues that we had as second or third that we couldn't address in the past 2 years? So that would be my recommendation. And then, again, if the health comes out of it and we say, so I don't recall Arthritis Foundation being on they weren't part of the presenters. That doesn't mean that it's not a priority, but I think we still need to look at our data that we collected back in 2019. And then some of it, we just may need to refresh it, right? Because 2019 was 2 years ago. We do. I really feel that other than that, we're floundering a little bit because then we're just talking about random ideas and we're not responding to data. We're not responding to critical needs that were already identified. So I think that's the next step.
Well, I think quite honestly, 2020 just reshifted all of that. I mean, to look back now at all of that, I just think after everything that's happened, health and working are probably more prominent issues now for the county than domestic violence is at the moment. Not to say that that's not important, but I mean, I think that's
Well, mental health, substance abuse, you know, even just having someone from ASAP come and present, because the needs in our county have skyrocketed as a result of the pandemic. Mental health needs. And one of my team members was at a meeting over in Zephyr Hills with the police department and some other nonprofits, and, you know, just hearing about the meth issue in Zephyr Hills and some of the major concerns around homelessness in that community, particularly, you know, families. I mean, we don't have enough homeless shelters in our community. Right. We've got, yeah. So I think that would be a good direction. I know Baycare did come and speak to us before, so I'll have to dig up those old files. Johanna, we might need your help with that. We're talking some of the presentations that we did back in 2019. I think those are part of our minutes. And so we just need to have a focused strategy session on that. And I know that I had thrown out maybe doing it on a day that we have a meeting, and the county attorney clarified that it does need to be open to the community if we are going to do it. We can't have a closed meeting of sorts. That was good clarification, because I really didn't know. I know when we did it before, nobody came, but I mean, we came, the members came, but you know, no one from the community attended. But we did it at the library, and we were able to sit in, you know, a U shape and really have some good strategic discussion. And that's how we narrowed down on our priorities.
Have a premier community that we could put on our social media. Aren't you doing something with mammograms or something?
So we have a annual Women's Health Day. So if you follow Premier, you can just reshare.
I shared it. I read about it on the Lutz Laker.
Yep.
And then I put it on the CSW.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I went on their social media.
About that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, one of the reasons why we have the annual event, it started out to be in January because that's Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, and now we've moved it to May so that we're encompassing kind of the annual wellness visit, and how, you know, so many of us as women, we just don't do it. I mean, we wait until there's a problem, and by the time there's a problem, sometimes it's too late. And so that will be on May 10th, so it's actually next Monday. And it will be visits for any woman in our community and that needs an annual wellness exam, which includes a cervical cancer screening and a clinical breast exam. We do have a referral relationship with imaging for low-cost mammos if an individual is uninsured. Thank you. Okay, so just to wrap up next steps for item number 8. Are we ready to pick a date for us to have a planning session so that we can revisit our information, or based on what we just discussed and the results of the pandemic, do we feel like we need to have more data collection to determine what are some of the pressing needs for women and girls in our county?
Can we pick a date and then just get that beforehand?
Say that again.
Can we just pick a date and then kind of
back it in?
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. I know we don't meet in July, so we're looking at either June or August. We don't meet in July. We don't meet in September.
So would our planning session just be a little bit longer than a meeting, or do you want to do it during the meeting?
I think that, I mean, as long as we can carve out time, I mean, right now our meetings are running about 90 minutes. So I think if we at least dedicate, I don't know, I mean, what's reasonable? You guys are just as busy as I am.
My opinion needs to be a separate meeting.
Yep.
I'm in agreement. I think it should be a separate meeting where that's what we're focused on.
Okay. So we can do a doodle and, you know, then we can actually get the consensus from everyone and go from there. Now, Johanna, if we wanted to do this virtually or I guess hybrid like we do now, is that possible or would we have to?
It would have to be in one of the boardrooms.
Okay. All right, so we will have to find out what dates are available with Johanna's assistance, then create the doodle with the options. And then once that goes out, we'll be able to get consensus rather quickly.
What month do you guys want me to look for?
I think June or August. I mean, August, yeah.
I know I'm not on vacation.
Yeah.
Pick me.
Okay, so we're going to aim for August, and that'll, you know, it's kind of a little rhythm with people, even if you don't have school age kids, you kind of get back into a fall rhythm in August. So we'll look at mid to late August so that we're able to have something that we can put on our calendars and plan accordingly.
I feel like if meeting in the library is an option for that type of a meeting.
Well, if we're doing it hybrid, like we have our meetings, it has to be in one of the boardrooms. But if we can get in-person consensus,
I would say no hybrid for that one. That's hard to do a workshop hybrid.
Well, I think, but it's based on the county guidelines right now. So my understanding is all meetings have to enable hybrid because guests can't come. They can only WebEx in if we want to have public comment. Isn't that what the county attorney said? Okay.
Yes.
So that was trust me, I was going in one direction and then I got back in my lane.
Cheryl?
You're supposed to be voting on it tomorrow.
Up to the commission what the result was from that vote. So we would know how to do the August meeting. My point is the Land O'Lakes Library is centrally located in.
That's where we used to be.
So it's be easy for West Side, East Side people. We could just meet in the middle. That's my thought.
I think it's a great thought.
And just
Okay.
like a 2-hour planning session?
Yes. Yeah.
Cheryl, this is Lisa Richardson.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, this is
Go ahead.
just a thought. And of course, the library is great, but I also just had a thought. I didn't know if we might be interested in maybe hosting our, that planning session, our retreat, or whatever we wish to call it, maybe at the new Instructional Performing Arts Center there in Wesley Chapel.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I mean, because we have Zoom capability. We even have Zoom capability, believe it or not, in the Weatherford Theater, which seats 440. That's where my president's cabinet, and there's only 20 of us, we've been meeting because it allows us to socially distance. And then we also, for those that need to do so, we've got the huge screen on the stage. And then, of course, we also have smaller classrooms as well. Just a thought. Like I say, the library is good too, but if we want another option, that would be something I'd be happy to look into.
Can you please look into that? That would be wonderful. I think my questions would be, is there a fee for the staff support that would be necessary to, access the facility? And then, if there's any technical support that would be required for the audio.
Okay. I will, I've just reached out to Dr. Kevin O'Farrell. He is the provost that oversees that center, the IPAC. And I'll get those details.
Okay. Yes, I did
And
see some of the exciting news, online about it being completed. So congratulations. That's very, very exciting and good for a gem in our community.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, so we have some marching orders. We're definitely looking at August, and we're going to see what the vote says tomorrow. And, we're all private citizens, and so we can always email our commissioners with our thoughts. Little shameless plug there. And we, I think tomorrow we'll determine if we can have it off site, and then if the county maintains, say, the requirement for hybrid, then that kind of limits us to available dates that Johanna will have to help me identify. And then once we get some available dates, we'll determine the doodle, so we can get consensus. So Lisa, really tomorrow is going to help us determine if we can be off site. And then from there we'll figure it out.
Yes, if you could just keep me posted, because we could even do something like, I could even coordinate for those who are interested, maybe even before the meeting or before our strategic session that we have there. If some folks wanted to come early and have a tour of the IPAC, I could coordinate that as well.
Yes. Now, will it be open in the fall for actual programming, or how?
May 10th.
Maybe we need it should be our June presenter, by golly. No?
What did you
Along
say?
with the Bay Area Legal Services. This is such a new thing that I don't think any of us know too much about it.
Yes, in fact, I'd be happy to work on coordinating a tour. We've been giving tours of community members for a couple months now, and the center is scheduled to open to students and start classes on May 10th.
May 10th, okay.
Yes, but we have been doing all kinds of, private tours. Recently, we did a tour for the Pasco Economic Development Council. Of course, our legislative friends. I mean, just 2, 3, 4 times a week, we're providing tours. At this point, primarily to more those that have a potential to support it financially. But something like the Commission on the Status of Women would be another wonderful group we'd love to bring out for a tour.
Excellent. I think that's a great idea. Let's put that in our minutes so that we can stay on top of that and make sure we get that done. That we're going to coordinate with Lisa Richardson to have a tour of the new performing. What's the I stand for?
Instructional, because it's all programming, dance, theater, music.
Okay. I was going to say international, but it's Instructional Performing Arts Center in Wesley Chapel.
Yeah.
Trying to get my Rotary Club to do a tour. We can't get our act together to do that just yet, but we're very interested in seeing the new facility down there.
Yes, likewise. Okay, so we're going to move on. Thank you, everyone, for your interaction and discussion on item 8. I think we've got some clear direction, and a lot is contingent on tomorrow. So Denise and Kelly were co-heading our efforts to participate in the annual Bowling for Boobs in October. And with Kelly's resignation, I will follow up and see if Denise still wants to proceed. She's definitely she's juggling a lot. So is there anyone else that wants to help with this? Or I can just follow up with Denise and see if this is something she still wants us to focus on. And it's not that we're planning it, it's just a matter of putting a team together to participate.
I'll
Do we
be
wanna-
happy to serve on the team.
Yeah, I used to be a member of West Pasco Businesses. I'm still friendly with the people
Okay.
that put it on. So Denise needs some help.
Okay. Yeah, I think we just need to follow up and find out what is it, when is it, what is the team? We need the details.
Okay.
And then if the commission is going to put a team together, then we'll let all of the members know and try to get us signed up. I mean, it is a fundraiser, so I think it's more than just bowling, but it's also participating with the fundraising activity. Can you reach out to Denise directly so it takes me
Yes.
out of the middle?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes, of course.
Okay, so item 8 and item 10 to me are going to collaborate. We're going to mesh those together. So we've kind of been on this path of, before the pandemic, we were planning to have an inaugural event to recognize the achievement of women and girls. And now we're really looking at how we can tie an annual event into either the month of May or around women's health issues. And so I think that we just need to come back to the drawing board when we have our strategy session. And I know Lauren isn't here today, but we definitely have been doing a little bit of work with the subcommittee. So I think we just need to decide, what are we doing? When are we doing it? And then that committee will have they'll have some legs to it. Does that make sense to everybody?
I think merging those two together is perfect.
Okay. All right, so Jean, you are up. We have a new draft of our digital, print, and it can also be uploaded as a PDF. Are we able to share screen? I know it got emailed out, but are we able to share screen with the actual palm card?
I have to send it to Craig. So it might take a few.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Jean, why don't you talk us through it? Everybody can, we just have 2 people on virtual, so everybody got it via email. So if you can just listen to Jean and she'll guide us through the final edits.
Well, basically, most of the changes were what I call the side 2, which would be the list of our clubs, our organizations, and our commissioners, which we updated Christina Fitzpatrick. And then I know we need a change in the name capitalization of healthcare with C for Cheryl. And then it was suggested, instead of listing where we were going to be per month, whether the west side or the east side, sometimes that can change. We just directed everybody to the website to see where the monthly meeting location would be. And then there's a typo on that too. It's supposed to say check website for details on monthly meeting location.
Thank you.
So is there anything else that anybody's noticing? Because it's always better to have 2 or 3 heads looking at something than one. And we just kept the same front page stock image. It really represents a wide variety of women. I did try to find some new stock images, but nothing really spoke to me that would encompass the whole group. So
Right.
I just went with the Pasco County logo on the side 2. So we were talking about printing. It was 200 of these. That's out, I believe.
I would maybe do a little more. I think each member should get 10, and then we should have a stock for when we do these tabling events. So maybe, if each member gets 10, that's 150. And that way, as we're networking and engaging people, we're handing them out. So that would be our homework, to not store them or put them in our glove compartment, but to get them out And then there were a couple of locations that we actually wanted to place them. So I know that we've got some at the Chamber, the Pioneer Museum. And, you know, I think that if there is a RAC card holder at both courthouses and we're able to put them there, that would be great. And there's multiple chambers, so I think that we need to consider that. So maybe 500 seems a little bit more reasonable, just so we can.
I put some at this courthouse too. And then Main City Chamber, and then somebody went to the Pioneer Museum. Was it you?
I don't remember.
Out there.
So because I think 500, it's not a dated item. And so that way we know we've got enough for this year and next year. And we know that there are some events that are coming up that we want to have them for, particularly the EDC event.
What does that do with Johanna already kind of authorizing the $50 print fee? Do we resubmit an invoice to you, I guess?
Yeah, so just ask her to get you a new invoice and then just
For the 500?
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot that we'd gotten approval for the 150.
She already kind of approved for this 200.
and hopefully she can have these printed for you in time for that event this upcoming weekend. That hopefully she can have them printed for you in time for that event this weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah. The PDC event, it says it's May 8th. So that's this upcoming weekend. But it's Monday, so I think it's possible.
Well, maybe just go, and since you already have the approval, just do the edits. Let's get the 150 or the 200, and then we can always reprint.
Oh, I think it'd be better for her to print the 500 at once. Yeah.
Well, but it sounds like we got to go through an approval process.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you get me the invoice. I'll forward it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was an extra step in there that we had to go through another approval process.
No.
Okay.
But this draft needs to be approved today
Yes.
for me to move forward with the printing. So is there any other changes or corrections?
No, because I think we said check website for details. I mean, that may change. We may discontinue the hybrid depending on the vote tomorrow. So I think that check website for details covers everything.
You see?
No, she's not going to represent the CSW because she's officially resigned. So you need a counterpart. What is the commitment? Are we there for the whole duration or are we just dropping in? I don't.
It says on the work plan, 10 a.m. to noon. Number 14.
Oh, we didn't get there yet. That's why I'm like, what is it?
I'm sorry. That just came up in the
No, I'm sure the price will change.
Oh.
I think the price was for 200, but I don't have my laptop here.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Invoice will be submitted. Yeah. We're printing 500 and invoice will be submitted for processing. So there's some coordination. Jean, can you just communicate with Leona once we get the prints so that, and then where are the tabling items? How can we get those, Joanne? I think they're stored with the county.
Yes, I have them in my office. So I can get them to Leona. We can meet somewhere this week. I'm in Land O'Lake, so. In Port Richey.
Are you in Central Pasco anytime? Because I know Leona's in Central.
Yeah, I can go pick him up and then meet Leona somewhere.
Okay.
Nice.
So can we get one more volunteer to assist Leona on Saturday, please, from 8 to 10, or sorry, May 8th from 10 to noon? That's okay. If you're not available, that's fine. Is anybody available? Any of the other members available? I know Lauren will be there, but she's kind of coordinating the event, so I don't expect her to dedicate time to being at the table.
Hours, Leon, do you think you can handle this?
Well, I need to be at
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, I think do what you can. And I mean, we can always send out an email to the large group. We only have 2 people virtual and the 5 of us here. So, and then just, leave a small stack, not a lot, and pack up everything else. And when you have to leave, you leave. Excellent. And try to get a picture, somebody to take a picture of yourself at the table, or I'm sure the PEDC will probably be going around taking pictures. But thank you for dedicating your time to participate and represent the CSW on this Saturday. Yes, we can get that official information from Lauren. Lauren Maselli? I know it's so odd. We're speaking into the mic, but we also have to project to speak to each other.
Just press the button. It'll turn on. I thought one.
Well, the mic only works for people that are virtual. The mic doesn't necessarily illuminate in the room.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, your mic is working, but it's not a microphone for the boardroom.
Okay.
It's a microphone for the virtual.
Okay.
So just project your voice so the rest of us can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
So, do we have an approval then for this?
Yeah, I mean, as good as an approval can get without a quorum.
Go for it. Looks
I'll
good.
get these printed out today. I'll reach out and let everybody know.
Great, thank you. All right, so item 12, continue to collaborate on existing committees and coalitions. Has anybody attended any committees or coalition meetings that they would like to report out on? Things that the CSW needs to be aware of or participating with? Okay, well, this is really an opportunity just to, again, if you're participating in standing committees or another initiative that you feel aligns well with the CSW, we just want to hear about it so it can inform our decision-making process. Okay, so now we're on to item 13, the project around our women-owned businesses in Pasco County. So that's Jean and Lauren. And on behalf of Lauren, Jean, would you like to share an update?
I don't have an update as of last month. We still are at 86 women-owned businesses. This that I put together, the Excel spreadsheet. I've reached out to Lauren, but she has not answered me on any kind of information that she might have through PEDC. The Greater Pasco Chamber does not break it out for women-owned business.
That's okay.
I offered to sit with staff and see if we could decipher that, but really didn't hear back from Tim, the executive director of that chamber. So I'm kind of at a standstill.
Well, I think that we just need to go with what we got. I think that this is the first step. This is the first time that we've ever done anything like this. And so now the next step is to develop a strategy for how to use this information to raise awareness and support women-owned businesses. So I think this ties back with item 8 and item 10.
Right now it's alpha listed. So I think what I can do, my next step, I'll go and group by category.
Okay.
I'll have 2 lists. I'll have an alpha list and then I'll go and group categories, whether it's, hair salons or lawyers or whatever. I'll go ahead and break it out. The best of my knowledge.
Okay.
So we'll have 2 weeks.
So I'm interested in feedback from the members of the commission. What do you all envision us doing with this information? We've spent a lot of time figuring out that we needed it. Now we have it. What do we want to do with this information?
Well, when you break it up by category, you can highlight that particular group, whether it's, if it's hair salons, as an example, maybe like people, you could say, all you mothers out there that want to get a makeover for Mother's Day, here's all the women-owned businesses, the hair salons and spas or whatever. Right. You can do the tie-ins like that and highlight the businesses throughout the year. We just need to make sure that we highlight each group within 1 year. Mm-hmm. That's how I see.
Well, I definitely think that, there's a lot more salons than are showing up on that list, and maybe it's because they're not members of the chamber, or, can I own a salon and not be listed with the PEDC? I'm just thinking about all the salons in town. There's like probably hundreds.
But are they women owned? If they're not part of the chamber, if they're not connected somehow, we don't know.
How do we know?
Like you said, this is a starting point.
Right.
I've identified some women-owned businesses through the Florida Women magazine.
Right.
Because they highlighted some women business owners. And I grabbed that information from there.
I'm trying to remember, did you send me the list? Should we forward it out to all the CSW members in case there's any businesses they want to add to it?
I think that'd be a great idea. Do you have my spreadsheet that I sent you?
Yeah, I'll look for it.
I thought. Or maybe
I think it just went. Yeah, it just went to us. That was a couple of months ago. Yeah.
That would be great. That way I could add it and update it more and then break it out by category.
Okay. I love it.
If you're looking for a strategy too, if we had a list like that, I would, by serving on this commission, I think I would like to ask them, like, what do you need?
Right.
What is the county commission, like what is it that we can do?
What are your challenges? What can we do to help? Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Does the list have contact information for each owner?
It's your basic contact, name, address.
Does that have email? That would be.
I don't know if I put an email on there or not.
Okay.
Let me see.
That would be a good way for us to reach out, because otherwise we're getting into printing letters and postage, and we don't have that kind of money.
But I was thinking before Jenny said that, is that CSW members should visit some of those women on business and have a one-on-one conversation with them about what they're doing in the community and what would they like to.
It might be good to do the categories and have forums. We can't even get people to attend our meetings. I don't see us going out and meeting with 100 business owners. I'm just being honest. I don't think that's gonna.
Contact address and phone number.
Okay.
So,
maybe having an expo in the spring would be that way to get the information that you want.
Right.
To say, we're having this expo for women-owned businesses. Provide us your contact information, and then you can build your data.
That can be part of the registration. And that's why I said I think this ties back into item 8 and item 10. The more that we talk about this information, the more that we're starting to see some alignment and, connection. And so thank you.
So the list I have, Jean, it says 86 women-owned businesses.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, so I'll forward it now out to everybody.
All right. So I think for the work plan, we just want to consolidate item 8, 10, and 13, because they're all these activities are essentially trying to get to the same destination. You know, we've got information, we've got the consolidated list. We're starting with our 86, and from there, you know, because even I'm looking at my notes here. Being able to provide the list is step one, and then I think once we have the contact information, and I mean maybe the first communication is via mail because we don't have emails, and we can have like a form that people register and they can email their contact information, so we get some digital contact information, because otherwise we're kind of stuck relying on snail mail, which isn't bad. It just is a more laborious process.
For some reason, when I was working, I really didn't have like email address.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Well, do
We
most
can
of
work
them,
on that, but at least we've got the list going.
do most of them have websites?
Website is not on there. It's just its name, contact address, and phone number.
Okay. Well, let's just start. Like you said, let's start there. And based on our previous discussions, you know, our next step is really to determine how we're going to use the information to not only bring people together, but also learn how we as a commission can support women-owned businesses in our community. Okay. All right. Well, the last item we've already discussed, and so I will go back to our agenda. And we still are not able to officially elect our leaders. And so moving on from item 3, guest speakers for June. Jenny, you're going to follow up with the Bay Area Legal Services and identify. You and Rhonda will work together to identify a backup. And so basically, once you identify that person, you have to loop in Johanna so that they can get the official WebEx invite. And then item 5, we've also discussed, and this is where we're going to see what the vote is tomorrow on the requirement for the type of meetings, whether they can be hybrid or if they can be in person and off-site. And then that will help us determine where we will have our August meeting. But either way, we need to do a doodle based on dates and location availability. I think let's just see what the meeting says tomorrow, what the vote is.
The spreadsheet from Kelly with the speakers, do you want me to send that out?
If you can send it to Jenny and Rhonda, that would be great.
Okay.
And then do any of you have any contacts that would be willing to help facilitate our strategy session pro bono? So that we can all participate. I think if one of us is facilitating it, it's hard to kind of have that objective participation. I'm thinking a great college professor that can facilitate. Okay, we can, I'm just opening it up.
Not Lauren, but maybe.
Well, if you have some recommendations, send them to me. I did think of Marcy from the county, so I'll reach out to her to see if she's able or interested. They do community development and she's an excellent facilitator. So let's at least get a couple of names that we can ask. And again, we're trying to find local talent so that, we're able to get this as a service to the community. We can't pay anybody. Not to say that they're not worth payment, but.
You ready? 917-743-3429.
17-743.
Please.
All right. Well, I will open it up for round robin and any announcements, updates, things that you want to share before we officially adjourn the meeting. Lisa, are you still with us? Oh no, Lisa's gone. Kelly, we can start with you since you're still with us virtually. Any announcements, any updates, anything you would like to share with the group?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Jenny.
I don't have any.
Okay. Leona?
No.
Okay. Rhonda?
I would just like to say that we have at St. Leo a new, it's an ebook that's going to be published in June, and it is called Community Partnering for Advocacy of Mental Health. And there's 23 faculty that have contributed to it. And it's more of a interactive workbook. So we're going to use it as like a supplement in classrooms, but we're also seeing it as a way to go out and work in the community with community partners. So that might be something we would like to, put out to the community at some point and let them know what it's about and see. We have we have some advocacy groups that come in, and they've expressed a need for more mental health, like real hands-on de-escalation, how to deal with, problems that are coming up. So we're thinking about doing some workshops with that book. So there may be something that we can do with that at some point.
Okay. Is that an opportunity to elaborate in June? Maybe having you as the second speaker, just so we can dive a little bit deeper. That would be great.
Okay.
I'm really interested in that professionally and personally.
And for like police officers, religious leaders, people even in businesses that are working and someone comes into their store and they're, aggravated or whatever. And
Well, let's count on that because that really intrigues, me and I lead a whole team and, a lot of what we do are those community collaborations and just trying to leverage existing resources in our community so we're not duplicating efforts.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, thank you. That is a really good update. Jean.
I just wanted to make everybody aware that May 10th, Oasis Pregnancy Center is opening up on the east side of the county with the Mason Baptist Church property. Another group that was called, I think, Cornerstones.
Yeah.
Which is now defunct. So.
Oh, that's great news.
Pregnancy Center has several locations, I think it's 4 or 5.
Correct.
And, since we are the Commission on the Status of Women, I think relevant topic to talk about with what these are going to offer there.
Maybe we can have April speak to us in August. Okay. So Jenny and Rhonda, April Beck is their executive director. Didn't Pete kind of transition into a different role?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think he's lessened his.
Okay. Well, I know April personally, so I'll send you her information. And when we look at, birth rates and, those are some of the areas that I think we as a commission need to raise awareness, low birth weights in our county, that ties right back into the state of public health. When we look at kids that are born substance use exposed, those are some of the issues that I think we can really get a better understanding of by listening to our partners that have the Pregnancy Care Center. They have many, many collection drives. They have a clothing closet, and they've got kind of a baby food pantry. You can tell I'm really passionate about their services.
Have a need for a sonogram machine.
Oh, yeah.
What I understand is like a $15,000 ticket item. So that might be help with somebody in the community might be able to help with. I suggested that they contact the Advocate Foundation.
Same
They
mission,
might
yeah,
have-
similar mission.
They might have,
Excellent. Okay. So do you know, and they're opening on May 10th, or is that?
the ribbon cutting,
Okay.
the chamber.
Oh, great. Well, let's see if we can be supportive. Are they still doing virtual or is it hybrid?
It's in person.
Oh, great.
I'm sure.
I usually get those chamber alerts. I didn't see that one. I'll have to go back through my emails.
It's from 11:30 to 2.
Okay.
I think the ribbon cutting is at noon
All right.
for Oasis.
So commissioners, let's, try to be supportive of a wonderful new organization, or not a new organization, but a new site that is being adopted by an established, very successful organization right here in Pasco County. And Jean, if you can just send out that information to Johanna, then she can send it to our group. I think it would be wonderful to have a showing of support.
Got like a little flyer thing
Okay.
that I can grab.
You said 10 to noon.
11:30 to 2.
Oh, 11:32.
32, and I think noon is the actual ribbon
Okay. Well, I'm putting it on my calendar. Hopefully I can swing by.
cutting.
All right. Well, my only update is, once again, our Women's Health Clinic Day, we have had an amazing response. And for those that can't be seen at our clinics on that day, we are able to try to get them scheduled at another time. And our number one priority is making sure that women have access to care and that, their financial situation or lack of health insurance does not exclude them from quality care. So that is part of our mission as a community health center. Thank you all. Yes, one more thing, Johanna.
So the work plan update, who should I forward that to?
So we do have the work plan update, which is essentially, I would say, the bulk of our meeting. Right now, I think, Leona, you're mainly doing the minutes. And so it sounds like we need someone else to assist with the work plan updates. Any takers? I think it was a combination. I mean, I drafted the template, but it has evolved tremendously. We're just trying to spread the workload. So I think all of us here have overly stepped up today so we can reach out to the broader commission and see who can help us with that. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you all for a great meeting, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Happy May.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh,
Yes. Happy Mother's Day next week. My mom's birthday falls on Mother's Day this year. It's always around the weekend, and this time it falls on Mother's Day.
Probably gets robbed then.